Okay, hi guys. So I'm just quickly checking that I can see me on my other Facebook page so that I can send it to the group as well. And there I am. Okay, fabulous. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to share this, share it to my group. Okay, so if you haven't yet joined the tribe, then please make sure that you do. So all the links are on my page. All of this is going in there. And basically why I'm doing this is to teach you guys more about the Lion's Gate and how we're going to work with the energies. And Lion's Gate's going to happen in the tribe. Hello, Diana. How are you, sweetheart? So yeah, so it's going to happen in the tribe. And I'm not going to have it on my page here. So it's for the group. And if you're in the group, then you are welcome to join us. So that would be great. Right. So today, I'm so excited. I am going to speak about divine connection. Okay. So this was so cool. So I literally got like all this inspiration and ideas and stuff that I want to share with you guys, just about how this all works. So since last week, I've been getting messages about intuition, and obviously when I started the group on Thursday, hi Diana, I'm well, thank you. So when I started the group on Thursday, one of the questions I asked you guys was, what do you want to learn about? Okay, so everyone was talking about needing to connect with their intuition more. So, and then when I was prepping for this, and it was all about like, how do we connect to the earth? And it's all about using your intuition. So I thought, fabulous. I can actually use this as an opportunity to teach you guys about that as well, and about how we work. Okay, so intuition and connection is very linked. So intuition for me is the ability to, so it's the senses. So it's the ability to sense and to feel and to see and to hear, all of that. Okay, so it's all body related functions. So when I'm speaking about intuition, it's about starting to use our faculties. Okay, starting to use the being, the body. Okay, so for me, it is important that we as people are very connected to our physical being. And I think what's happened over the centuries and stuff is we've literally become very disconnected. So the one thing that is very clear is animals. Okay, so if you think about animals, if the animals are on the earth, and the animals are basically sensing something's going to go wrong. So if there's like a big earthquake that's going to happen, or say that there's a volcano that's going to erupt or whatever, animals will start clearing out weeks before things are happening. They'll start becoming very restless and all of that. So what they are doing is, while they are walking on the earth, they are basically connecting to the energy of Mother Earth and feeling a disturbance. It's like a disturbance in the force. So if you can think about, like, say, Mother Earth, she's got these energy fields, and she's got a frequency and a resonance that she's vibrating at, okay? So when the animals then sense, hey, something's going weird or something's going wrong, then they will, for instance, they will leave that area to make sure, because they know this is not how it usually feels. It feels uncomfortable. It doesn't feel right. We need to go. Okay, so they are using their bodies and their ability to sense and to feel to navigate themselves. Okay, so for me, it's like every single human, you have an energy field. You also have the ability to feel, but we've sort of forgotten, or we're just not aware, or we don't know how, okay? Because your mom doesn't sit you down and go, what does that feel like for you? Or, you don't get taught this stuff in school. So it's basically part of your journey is to figure out, how do I reconnect to this little thing, this little body of mine? Okay, so if you think about, like, when you walk into a room and you meet people, okay, some people, your energy's like, I've got my energy field. It's like probably quite massive. You walk into the room, I walk into the room, our energy fields meet. And then if we like each other and it's good, then guess what? Ding, it's all good. We gel, okay? If you walk into a room and someone creeps you out, when you get that like really uncomfortable feeling, your energy fields are matching and they're not resonating. That's not working together. Okay, so the thing is, for me, like, everything's got an energy field. So if you think about, for instance, a sacred site, so if you go to, say, to the pyramids or to Machu Picchu or any of those like really special places, what happened in the ancient times is that basically there were these lines of energy. Like if the earth is like that, there's different lines of energy that crosses, and where those lines of energy cross, it feels different. Okay, so when people were still able to feel, and the mystics were able to feel, they would walk into these sites and things would feel different. The earth would be sending information and vibration and messages in these special spots, and things would be built there to commemorate that, or to be able to work with it. Okay, to make it almost like it's a beacon there, so that you know this is a good spot for you to go and work with those energies. Okay, so if you, for instance, go into nature, if you go to places that's got water, or if you go to the sea, or you go walk in forests or whatever, there's all these, they call them like eons, okay? So they ions, okay? So they come out of the earth, and then you have negative and positive ones. So if it feels good, like the negative ions are there, and then they'll feel really, like you'll feel good when you walk into a space. So I was in the forest this morning going walking, and I like walked out of there like on a massive high, because obviously all these good like vibes are literally coming out of Mother Earth. Now, sometimes you get to places and you just walk in and it just feels shitty and eerie. That's like the negative ones that's like popping up. Okay, so there's literally all these places in the world where like there's either positive or negative ions that's like basically coming out. Okay, so that's the thing, is like the earth is full of these pockets, and she's constantly sending out like vibes, information. And when you're standing on it, you don't always know, like, why am I feeling like this? Because you're not aware of it. So what I'm hoping to accomplish today is, by you guys like walking around in the world, when you're starting to feel shitty or weird, there's a reason for it, and it's energetic. And if you don't understand it, especially like when I said last week about the empaths, then what the hell? Like, you're going to be walking around picking up stuff the whole time, feeling horrible and not knowing what the hell's going on with you. Okay, so please start being aware of when you go into a room, how are you feeling? When you walk into a space outside, how are you feeling? How does it make me feel? How is it uplifting my vibration or making me feel yucky? Okay, the same thing is like when you are working, like for me, when I work with clients, when I tune into their energy, I can immediately feel it's like heavy or it's light. Okay, I can feel what it is, and I can feel what it could be as well. So the thing is, like, so we are constantly needing to make sure that our vibrations are high enough so that our interactions with people are positive. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you guys, because these things are really important and no one teaches us this stuff. Okay, so now with sacred sites, and one of the things that is really important with the Lion's Gate is that there's a massive connection between the pyramids and the Lion's Gate. Okay, so, and what happens with sacred sites, so if any of you have ever been to a sacred site or a holy site, even like when you go to a church or a mosque or any place that is a holy place, there's a different energy about the place. When you walk into a place, you can feel it feels different. Okay, so sacred sites, generally what happens is it gives us the ability to connect to higher consciousness there, because the energy that's coming out of the earth, the energy that the building holds, the energy that the structure holds, whatever, opens up. It's almost like it opens up an opportunity for you, for healing, for clarity, for enlightenment, wisdom, all of these things to come through. Okay, so every time that you go to a special place, then it's like your consciousness opens and you have this ability to actually start working with the different energies. So me, I always think of myself, I'm a bit of a freaking sacred site junkie, okay? Like, that's why I travel so much, because I get to go to these places, and it's like taking drugs, basically. You feel so awesome when you're there, and it's like really amazing. And then you get all this information, and it's like you unlock these bits about yourself. Okay, so it's almost like you go and you reconnect with a part of you. Okay, so and that is what the energy that these places hold. Now, the whole thing is that it's this journey of discovering yourself. When you get to these places, you discover yourself. So when I went to one of the most, the freakiest ones that I had was when I was in Delphi. Now, Delphi was a place where all these oracles in the ancient time used to live, and things happened there and stuff. And it was quite a sacred space. There's a big temple there, everything. And everyone told me about this place. And I was so excited to go there. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to go to Delphi. So my husband was cycling and he was ending in this place called Meteora. And I literally made us drive like a massive like roundabout route because I had to go to Delphi, and it was sort of en route, but not really. It was like, I don't know how many miles detour. But we went there, and I got there and I was like, I walked in and I'm like, freaking hate this place. This place sucks. I feel like shit. And all my friends had gone, oh, but it was amazing and it was life-changing and da, da, da. And I'm walking in there and I'm going, what the hell's going on here? Like, I'm like, literally, this is like despicable. Like, I'm so pissed off. I walked out of there like a big cloud. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? So the thing is with sacred sites that I didn't know then, that I know now, is that it brings out either the positive or the negative qualities, okay? It shows you what you need to see about yourself. And what Delphi showed me was how I wasn't in my truth yet, okay? So Delphi basically showed me that I needed to define what was important to me and find my spiritual path, okay? Which I was at that stage still thinking about what's everyone else saying, how's everyone else doing, blah, blah, blah. And this was like, raw, rip it open, like Yolandi, find your own shit. Like, find out what is important to you and where is your sacred space. Okay, that was the message. So I found that really interesting. Like, for instance, when I went to the pyramids, oh my God, I felt like I was on this high. I literally couldn't stop smiling because of what I had felt there and how it had felt inside the Great Pyramids. I literally looked like I was on the biggest high of my life. My eyes were this big. I was like, wow, you know, because it felt so good. So these places are really important. And that's the whole earth connection, okay? Because at these points, there's information, there's like wisdom, there's, if you can imagine like a big stream of energy coming out, okay? So that's why all these things in the earth is important. And the earth is literally covered with these grids. Like, it's got these lines, obviously now like energetic lines running around it that connects all of these spots and where the earth is sending out information. Okay, so Mother Gaia is a lot, there's a lot more to her than just a piece of rock in the universe. Okay, she holds information. She literally holds the history of things that have happened. There's so much wisdom. Everything is within her. And if we are in these beautiful spaces, we get to feel that, we get to experience it, we get to open up our beings and enhance our ability to get more knowledge, to become more enlightened. Okay, so that's why when we are forever saying go out in nature, it's because guess what? She holds such a beautiful vibration. So if you go in there, you see aspects of yourself, you see beauty, you see happiness, you see all these like positive things coming out. And that's why we're forever saying go out into nature, you know, go to places that makes you feel good. Okay, but we are unfortunately all locked up in our houses and in buildings all day long and all that type of stuff. So we become more disconnected. So it's always a good thing to make sure that you're very aware of how you are feeling and then going to spaces that make you feel better. So you can even create these things in your own house. Okay, so you can make sure that the energy in your own house, your surrounding, your garden is up to scratch by clearing it, by doing all these things that you're needing to lift the vibration. Okay. Cool. So I'm hoping that makes sense. So it's really important to also know that you don't physically have to be in these spaces. Okay. So one of my coolest, how will I describe this? So like one of the coolest meditations that I've ever done, or where I found information or got information, was I had seen myself and I was busy doing this meditation and I was walking and there was this pyramid structure, but it was one of the Mayan pyramids. And I immediately knew as I walked up to it in my meditation that this was in Guatemala. And then I had gotten a message from the Pleiadians to say that this structure here holds information and you can basically access information after this time there. And it was like a big book full of knowledge that was there. And I was stood there in my meditation saying to my guides, but I'm not going to Guatemala this year. And this is not on my plans. It's not in my, this is not what's going to happen. And they said to me, you don't need to be there. Okay, all you need to do is energetically access the space, and then you can still get the information. Then you can still feel the vibes. You can still get what you're needing to get. Okay, so just like we can do healing long distance, or we can do Reiki long distance, or I can tap into your energy, you can tap into my energy, that type of thing. We can also tap into the energy of a place somewhere on the earth. Okay, so we do that through visualization, and we do that through meditation. So you can visualize yourself being at, in Guatemala at one of these pyramid structures, and you can visualize yourself feeling what the energy feels like there. All you need to do is to get quiet and tune in, and then go there. Okay, so what's important for Thursday is that I want to work with the energy of the pyramids, because it's got beautiful enlightenment energy, it's got oneness energy, all of that. So when we are doing our meditation on Thursday, I will be taking you there energetically, and we will all gather there and like soak up that energy and work with that energy. Okay, so you yourself can go and be a little bit adventurous. Okay, so if you want to work with, say, Ayers Rock in Australia, or maybe Mount Fiji in Japan, or Mount Kailash in Tibet, one of those like sacred sites that's around the world, like find a picture. Okay, so like my obsession with Egypt is quite epic, and I found a little picture of can you see that? The Great Pyramid, okay, which is the best pyramid in the whole universe, in my opinion. And this morning I was like sitting and looking at the picture and reconnecting myself in my mind to being in the pyramid. Okay, so visualizing myself going into the pyramid, walking into the room, feeling what it feels like to be there. So I'm going to teach you guys all of this on Thursday. So while we're in the meditation, you can actually go in to the sacred space, and we'll be there together. But for those of you who are a little bit more adventurous, like when you're doing your next meditation, go and find yourself a picture of a place. Okay, so say you want to check out Angkor Wat. So look at the picture and then visualize, because all of the stuff, all of the energy work, everything we're doing requires you to visualize. Okay, and don't tell me you can't visualize. All of us can see stuff. Okay, all of us can imagine things. Like you just have to basically get out of your way and make that imagination go crazy, because the more freaky your imagination, the more amazing the ride is. Okay, so like really tune in and just have a picture in your mind. So if it takes you getting a photo of that place and looking at it so that your brain can go, okay, cool, I can relax now because I relate to it and I know what it looks like, that's the thing. Okay, so you zone into that and you tap into that and you feel, what does it feel like? Okay, so you get quiet and then you feel, what does the energy feel like? So does my body feel comfortable in this energy, or does it feel like uncomfortable? Is it making me feel yucky, or is it making me feel good? Okay, so now one of the things also is when you're working with energy at sacred sites or any of these places, sometimes it can be really overwhelming. Like you literally cannot stand it. Okay, so I'm just trying to think now where I was. So there was a certain temple that I worked with once, and the energy was really overwhelming. When I was in Egypt, I got taken underground by one of the guides that we had into the space that was under this temple. And I was in there for just a minute or two, but it was so hectic that I literally had to take myself out because I couldn't deal with the intensity of the energy. Obviously, I wasn't ready yet to really get into it. But again, I didn't know what was happening. So it scared the shit out of me because I literally went like, this is so hectic. I mean, I saw and I felt, and it was really overwhelming, but I couldn't manage it. Okay, so what I am going to say to you guys is, if you're wanting to do this and you're scared that you're going to get overwhelmed, or you're not sure that you're going to know what to do, you have to shield yourself. You have to protect yourself. So before you start, you basically visualize yourself building like a little dome. Okay, so you have this little energetic dome, and you're seeing the shield that you're creating. And as you're walking into the space, so see yourself walking in your little bubble. Okay, well, mine's like cone shape, so like let's do a cone, and you're walking with that. And then basically what you do is you are then making little holes in it. Okay, so you're basically creating little holes that will allow the energy to come to you at the pace that you feel comfortable at. Okay, so if you're a bit scared and it's a bit overwhelming, you do that. You just let little bits. Okay, so then it's like you're removing bricks out of a wall. And the more comfortable you get, the more bricks you let out of the wall so that you can feel more and more and more of the energy. Okay, so this is not a cop-out for you to now go, oh my God, I'm too scared. I'm just going to walk around in my bubble everywhere when we're doing this work. Okay, because sometimes we need that yucky feeling or that scared feeling to also make us think and connect with what am I feeling. Remember yesterday when we were speaking, it's about how's it making me feel inside my body. So if I'm feeling uncomfortable in my heart, if I'm feeling uncomfortable in my solar plexus, is a damn good reason for it. So I need to go and excavate and start seeing, why am I feeling like this? Okay, but basically your shield is there so that you can go to places and move places and see things and feel things at your own pace. Okay, so me, I'm a bit more, almost like a bit more reckless. I like to feel like everything. Like I kind of really like that because I want to learn more. And I always think, shit, if I've paid to go to that bloody place, I'm going to get the most out of it that I can. Okay, it's going to be the best thing ever. And I'm really going to experience this because I'm not coming back here. I've got a bit of a thing. I only go to a place once because there's so many places to see on the earth. Okay, so you're needing to really make sure that you look after yourself. You go at your pace because everyone is in their own space. They're on their own journey. I'm not going to force people to go and do things or be in places that they're not ready to be in. So therefore, you have the tools to protect yourself and to let little bits of light in and everything in. Okay, so I'm hoping that makes sense to you guys as well. Now, you'll see a lot of times people are currently talking a lot about like the energies being really hectic and how it's feeling and what's happening at the minute is Earth is here and it's got its frequency. So I think it's called the Schumann frequency. It's like 7.83 or something. So it's got this like stable frequency that it vibrates at all the time. And every time there's like solar flares coming from the sun or there's some cosmic like disturbances or anything like rays or anything that hits the earth, then there's spikes. Okay, and obviously for us who are a bit more sensitive, the empaths, etc., those things actually affects you. Okay, so if the shit's hitting the fan, like you're going to be feeling, oh my God, why am I feeling so uncomfortable today? So be aware of this. Okay, if you know yourself well enough, and therefore I keep on harping on about like understanding what am I feeling, you will know that these things are not yours. Okay, if you're feeling groggy, if you're feeling cucky, whatever, and you know that there's nothing going on within me, it's energy from outside. So then take a minute, stop and see, is this me or is it outside of me? Okay, because that's the whole intuitive process, guys. It's always about being aware, and that's why we call it awareness, because we need to be aware. Where am I? How am I feeling? What am I dealing with? And when I know what I am dealing with, if other people's shit comes, if the energy of the universe, the cosmos, Mother Earth, whatever, hits my energy field, I will go, okay, that's not mine. That's not mine. That's not mine. Okay, so I am going to, if you're in this group, I'm going to be nagging the shit out of you all the time to be aware of what is happening within you. Okay, you can't just go through life and not be aware of yourself and what's happening with you. Okay, so these things are really, really important. And then the other thing that I also wanted to share with you was just about the grid and the lines and everything. So there's so many names for it. So I mean, they're called the ley lines, they're called the song lines, they're called the holy lines, there's fairy lines, there's dragon lines, there's spirit lines. There's like all these like names for it, and like this grid and that grid and everything. So there's various grids and all of it is energetic. Okay, all of it is like, I always imagine it like these beautiful golden strands. I'm standing outside of Mother Earth and I'm in the cosmos looking at her. It's these lines, these beautiful golden lines that go all around her and where all this beautiful energy is held. and it's all connected. All of it is connected. And you and I, we walk on those lines. We are in these beautiful spaces all the time, so we can feel the energy, we can feel all the positivity. And as a person who is conscious, my vibration is also affecting Mother Earth. Okay, so if I am negative, fearful, all the lower vibrational energies, imagine what she's feeling like if I am walking on her constantly in this. Okay, so she's obviously then wanting to go, well, let's send some positive vibes out to Yolandi to uplift her vibration. Okay, so for me, it's like everything you do has got an impact. Okay, how you are feeling, how you are managing your energy, etc. It also affects her. So if all of us were shitty, lower vibrational beings, imagine how hard it's going to be for her to try and keep on keeping up that beautiful, positive vibe that she's sending out into the universe. Okay, so just be very aware of that. So each and every one of us have got a responsibility to her. Okay, now for Thursday night, when we are going to be doing the work, what I've seen so far, and obviously as I do the work and as I do the meditations, it's a very intuitive process. So I will literally be guided on the night as to where to go. But the thing is, what I have been shown is we are going to work with the energies from Egypt, and we will be working from that point and using that sacred site vibration to obviously connect with, and then we'll be going out to Sirius. So I will speak about Sirius tomorrow when we're speaking more about the bigger picture and the cosmic beings and light beings and all that is outside of Earth. So we'll speak about that tomorrow. So I'm excited about that as well. But basically, that's where we're going to be with our Earth connection. Okay. Now, again, as I said yesterday, the whole grounding thing, again, is important so that we are going to have to make sure that we come back properly, all of that type of stuff, which is fine, which I always do as part of it anyway. And yeah, so the main thing is just start looking today at like what is your shield that you're going to take with you, because you might step into the energy of the pyramids and be overwhelmed. I remember for me going into the pyramids, getting up to the space, I think it's called the King's Chamber, King or Queen, anyway, into the chamber at the top. So getting there was such a hectic and claustrophobic experience that I was like, because I think it's always that journey to get to the point where things are bigger than you and where you see the bigger picture is very scary. Okay, so I remember walking in those little they're like little corridors, and you literally have to bend over, and you've got this thing on your head, and it's really, really claustrophobic. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. And then I calmed myself down because I knew it was my subconscious fears about walking up and seeing the bigger picture. Okay, because that's what happens in the pyramids is you start opening up to the oneness and start seeing what it's actually all about. Okay, and it scares the shit out of the human. It scares the shit out of your subconscious mind because it's the unknown. There's the great, beautiful unknown, but I need to be safe. Okay, the human needs to be safe. So therefore your shield is going to be important so that you can stay in your being, that you stay with yourself and everything. And then like once we get through to that area, you can start to relax and you can actually start feeling the beautiful vibration there. But there's always a bit of fear. There's always a bit of trepidation when you go to these places. And I've seen it in a lot of the sacred sites that I've been to. There's always this weird, like in me, there's this fear because there's greatness in all these sites, and you start seeing the greatness within yourself, and that's scary. And the thing is, like, I think it's Marianne Williamson who said about like seeing that light in yourself, that our greatest fear is seeing that light. And I think when you get to go to these sacred places and you get to connect with that energy and you see what actually everything is about, then it is so overwhelming and it can be quite scary. But the thing is, when you also see the beauty in all of it and what it is actually, how it empowers us and how it allows us to shine our light even brighter, then you turn into a junkie basically. Okay, so every time I go, I'm scared, but it's so good, and I'm like going, whoa, this is so amazing. So yeah, so that's really important. Okay, so let me just think. What do I do now? Let me just quickly tap in and see. So let's quickly just do a bit of body connection before I say goodbye today. So yesterday we worked with the fears that we're feeling, okay, and the things that's basically our biggest blocks. Okay, so today what I want to do is I want to tap into your biggest happy. Okay, so today we're going to take just a few seconds now, and I want you to just close your eyes, and I want you to breathe and feel your body. So be aware, this is my head, this is my neck, my shoulders, this is my stomach, my legs, and my feet. Okay, so put your attention now to your heart, and I want you to think of something that makes you really, really happy. It might be someone close to you, it might be an event in your life, it might be a place, whatever it is for you. Just tap into your heart and feel how it makes you feel. Feel the lightness. Feel how relaxed your being is. Feel there's no constraints, there's no tension. It's like you're shining a beautiful light out of your heart space. Okay, so just feel that now. Just become aware of how you are feeling. That lightness for me is always so beautiful. I feel like I'm walking around with a big torch in my heart that I just shine out to everyone when I'm in my good space. Okay, cool. And breathe in and breathe out. Okay, so that's really, that was like a, okay. Oh. So yeah, so that, can you feel the difference? Okay, yesterday it was like, feel shit, it's like, I can feel it in my body and it makes me feel like yucky. And today it's like, oh, okay, you feel like you've just like had the most amazing day out in nature and you're all like warm and squidgy and happy and lovey and all that stuff. Okay, so this is important so that you can feel the difference between the good and the bad in your body. Okay, fabulous, guys. So tomorrow is Divine Alignment Day. So we're going to be working with cosmic energies. We're going to be speaking about the beings of light. We're going to speak about you, your truth, and what the Lion's Gate is the catalyst for. Okay, so I'm super excited for tomorrow. Can't wait to see you all there. Yeah, so thanks for all the love. I saw the little hearts coming. I can't really see the other stuff, so I don't know if anyone, let me just quickly check here. See, I'm still having to figure this live stuff out. Okay. Oh, Roger, hi. I'm so glad you guys must enjoy Earthworks. I'm so jealous I'm not in South Africa to be there with you guys. So, yeah, enjoy the song lines. I'm like, oh, send me some love up here all the way from Africa. Thank you. Okay, so guys, yeah, like, I will see you tomorrow. I'm very excited. I think tomorrow is probably going to have to be early. I've got a bit of a jam-packed day tomorrow, so I will send out the invites now on the group. Please join the Divine Soul Tribe if you haven't, because I want to see you there for Lionsgate on Thursday night. And yeah, and just thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, pop it in the group. I will respond, and I absolutely loved sharing all this information with you guys today. You can see how flippin' excited I get about working with the earth and sacred sites and stuff. So yeah, so have a fantastic day, and sending lots of love out to all of you people, and thank you so much for being here. Okay, thanks guys, later.